All right.
Okay, so we're live streaming today so that we can get a recording of the meeting. And yeah, just to keep that in mind. If you don't want to be recorded, then you'll have to switch your camera off.
Okay.
Hello, Alejandro.
Hi, Alejandro. Hi, Alejandra.
Shall we start with a round of check-in, Ezekiel, or do you want to wait a couple
Yes,
more minutes?
yes, yes. Good evening, colleagues, and welcome to our event festival today. Um, Welcome everyone that is coming right now. And because of time, that I have to stick to time, that I would like to welcome everyone. I just want to know, how are you feeling? And as we come to close with the Emergent Festival and this project, how are you feeling wherever you are? So we're just going to go with maybe because I'm not gonna call anyone's name, but in this time that we have, just come in and say, this is how I feel today, and this is how I feel as we come close with the Emergent Festival and your project. Anyone can come. Amy, maybe you want to share about how you're feeling today? And yes, I see
Yeah,
there's also an inbox. Yes.
I put the prompt in the chat, so it's easier for people not to know the check-in questions. Hello, everybody. I'm feeling very good today. It's raining here, which is always great because we have a terrible drought. And I'm feeling quite excited to hear about what everyone's been up to and all the exciting outputs we have from this Emergent Festival. That's me, and I pass it on to Camille.
Thank you, Amy. Hi, everyone. I'm feeling tired. I've had a very rough week, but I'm actually really glad to be here tonight and to have this celebration and to see everything we've done and how the projects have come along. So really excited actually to share this time with you guys. And Jorge, I pass it on to you.
Thanks, Camille. I'm glad to see you all again, and I'm also excited. I'm really pleased with what we have seen from the developments of our project and the finalizing all together. I'm really glad about the final result, and I'm quite curious to hear about how you lived also your project. So it's time for celebrate. And I pass on to Alejandra.
Hi. I'm a bit tired that it's Friday and I did a crazy workout this morning. Can you hear me? I think my internet is not working. And it's really good to see you all. And yeah, it's freezing in London. So I'm a bit cold, but all good. Thank you. And I pass it to Alfred.
Hello, everyone. So I'm also excited to be here and hear about your experiences and successes and challenges. I'm tired. I'm in the last stretch of a PDC in Barcelona, but I'm in a beautiful place called the Nest City Lab. That's kind of a urban sustainability lab here. So I will pass to Alan.
You're muted, Alan. We don't hear you. Maybe you need to sit down somewhere stable.
Here. Yeah, I'm going to my computer right now. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. We're 2 days from finishing a permaculture youth camp that we did here in the mountains in Costa Rica. It's basically kind of like this dual program of running a PDC, and then the parents of the PDC, they come as students, bring their kids, and we run kind of like a parallel PDC program for the kids. So the kids can then like kind of like almost like talk with the parents at the end of the day, you know, about kind of like what they learned. So it's a really fun one, and yeah, we're 2 days from the end of it, so a lot of energy from the kids, and yeah, really excited. So and I'll pass it to Mai.
Come in. Wait a second. Sorry.
We're getting typing noises from your computer, Alfred. I think you'll have to mute yourself if you're not talking.
Okay, my turn. Yeah. Hi everybody. Like I already listened. Like a couple of you are tired. I'm very tired. I'm in mom mode right now. Friday afternoon, Friday evening. That's it. Hell of a week. So I'm gonna pass my turn to Laura.
Also excited to be here celebrating with you guys, and also a little bit wrecked because we had a proper storm down south. So 3 kids, actually we're 5 kids because I have a friend visiting, so it's been a little bit of cabin fever, but we're surviving. So I don't know who is missing. I'm not sure because I came a bit late. So I pass the word to whoever is missing.
I think Kate.
Or Vida.
Okay. So Kate, for example, or
Hello, everyone. Yeah, nice to be here. Nice to see you all. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to be doing. Pass to who was the last one? Vida.
Thanks, Kate. Let me put my camera on. Sorry, I'm having a bit of supper because it's been a long day. So just put my camera off so I can eat in peace. But yeah, I think a couple of you said it's been an intense week. I had a few health challenges and we had a family funeral, so it's been quite full on. But the energy of today and yesterday, and just like the energy of the team, and I'm so grateful to like everyone that we've been collaborating with. It's been really, really interesting. So yeah, looking forward to just like wrapping up actually. It's been good. Amy, should I pass back to you?
No, our host is Mikolo, Mr. Cadelo.
Mr. Canelo, brilliant. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Via. Thank you so much, everyone, for actually sharing. And I think the feeling is mutual. I just want to check. I just want to feel. I just want to hear how's everyone has been and the journey. So in one word, if in one word you can just in one way describe your Emergent Festival journey in one word. So maybe you can please, Amy, can you please type that in the box also that maybe they can see it. So in that one word, what can you describe your Emergent Festival journey? Over to you, Amy.
Adventurous. I pass it to Camille again.
Yes.
One word, it's too hard, but I'm gonna say inspiring. And I'll pass it on to Jorge.
Jorge, you're muted. It looks like you're frozen as well. Let's come back to Jorge after. Alejandro.
Yes.
My festival has been, gonna use 2 words, learning process. And Alfred?
My process has been a journey of peaks and valleys. Yeah, that's been my process. I'll pass it again to Alan.
Yeah, my journey has been of getting to meet new people. And I'll pass it on to Vida to shift it up a bit.
Yeah, super. I was just looking at the word count of one of the documents we created, and it's like almost 10,000 words. So one word is super challenging, but I will just say expensive.
Kate.
Pass it on to Kate.
Okay, so my word is challenging, and that's not because it was difficult, but because we were creating challenges about communicating your impact. So I'm going to be really punny on a Friday night. Challenging.
And what about you then, Cicadelo?
Mine will be collaboration. Yeah, I do recall collaboration. So I think everyone has maybe shared their one with Amy. So I think now
George came back in. Maybe George, you were frozen,
Oh,
so maybe you have your
okay.
one word.
Over to you, George.
One word, creative. Is someone missing still? I was out of line.
No, we're back with the host.
I am missing. I didn't talk.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Maye
Yeah,
and
sorry.
Laura, that's right.
Yeah, my word would be adaptability for both of the projects because I'm with Communicate Your Impact and the translation of Rosemary Morrow's book. And yeah, it's been so bumpy, personal, and work way, like everywhere. So that adaptability. Now, Laura.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for actually sharing and describing your words. Words are real. It's what you feel within yourself. And let me take this opportunity again to welcome everyone.
We have Laura left.
Pardon me?
We have Laura.
Me missing? Okay, Discovery.
Oh, you're missing. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Please, please, please. Please come. Sorry.
What was it, Laura? Oh, you're muted.
Discovery.
Discovery, okay.
Oh, thank you, Discover. That's sorry. So thank you so much, guys, for standing up for Lara. And now we are getting to a space whereby we're going to actually hear why we are here, and we just check if ever everyone is here, and if we just check if there's anyone that is missing, and we just also gonna check what is the intention and of the celebration. So, Amy, if you have time, can you please just pop them with those headlines maybe in the inbox so they can see what we are talking about. So I'm gonna call upon Amy to maybe give us a little bit of maybe why we are here. All of us, we know that we are here because we've started this journey together, the Emergent Festival, and with excitement, and when we are going and moving towards the finish line, most of us, some of us, sometimes we get tired, but because of collaboration and the love that we get and acquire, and the support that we have for one another, I think it on itself it says a lot about what we are here to learn and unlearn and grow, within each other. So I would like to call upon Amy just to give us few ways in terms of introduction and what I've mentioned. Thank you so much. Amy, over to you.
Thank you. So much of what I'm going to say is known by you. But it's a reflection that's useful for people who are watching the recording. We are at the moment streaming live on YouTube. Probably nobody is watching, but they might be watching later. So just to explain a little bit what is the Emergent Festival, how the process works, the community-led funding, and so on. So we started back in February. Actually, we started 3 years ago when we made the application for funding, and it came as an idea to have a small pot of money that every year we could put forward to the community to make decisions on how it should be spent. We came up with the Emergent Festival modality as an experiment. So we hadn't done this before. And we wanted to reward people who are active in the collab and have been engaged throughout the year. So those would be our decision makers. And this is how the so-called Emergent Festival ravers were chosen. Once the festival ravers are chosen, then we put together the policy, and basically we put together a system by which people from the community, whether they're new or whether they've been here a while, could team up together. And so every team has a raver and maybe 1 or 2 rock stars. Rock stars are people who are participating into the festival. And they present a proposal to the community to vote on. So we allocated the ravers, so the people who are most active in the collab, money in order to vote for these proposals. We've had 3 years experience now with this process. The co-budget, which is I'm going to share so people can also see what that looks like. I'll do this. Bear with me for a moment. This is what the co-budget looks like. Co-budget is an open source software which allows for community-led funding to be set up. So once all the users, the decision makers are set up to vote, we have allocated money to them. These are all the proposals that were funded this year. And then once the decisions are made, I'm going to stop sharing. Once the decisions are made, the teams go off and do their work. It's a 6-month sprint, split into 3 months and 3 months. After the first half, we have a check-in. This is to make sure that teams have the opportunity to bring it forward any challenges, any help they need. Sometimes the team members change along the way as well. So from a community perspective, the community is kind of up to date as to where those projects are. It's always a bit of a risk because we are allocating money maybe to someone who we haven't worked with before. But there's also the risk mitigation in that someone on the team has to be an experienced collab member because they're there. They're also the decision makers. In this case, we have made it through the end of the sprint, as we call it. And here we are celebrating all of these projects. So that's the rundown of it. We have 2 fantastic members of the Emergent Festival crew. That's Alan and Nitzikalelo, who have designed and hosted the events throughout the year and made sure that all the reminders, and for Kate also participated in this because she does the evaluation. So the report that you have filled in was designed by the evaluation officer so that we can report back to the funder all the exciting and wonderful outputs and impacts that these projects have. That's it. I can pass it back on to you, Nitzikalelo.
Wow, thank you so much, Amy, for that. And thank you so much, Kate, and thank you so much, team, Alan, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for holding hand. And every time we must be here. We are happy. I'm excited today because I know that Vida is not gonna send me. I'm not gonna get a slack reminder that I need to finish something, a reflection or Amy. But thank you so much, everyone that has made sure that we are finishing. We are in the finishing line. Indeed, it's nice to be a good knit and also be part of the, Emergent Festival also because and I don't talk about something that I know. I talk about something that I go through every time, and the stress I know is normal, and sometimes load shedding is normal. Sometimes you get dry. You don't have the spirit to work for 2 weeks, but eventually we come back because we remember why we are here. Without wasting time, I just want to, on that, Amy, I just want to remind my colleagues here that the important dates were today, and we are here today that the reports is completed, everyone is submitted. I'm so excited, and I just want to remind you, please. I just want to remind you guys that on the 9th of December, please be aware that is the day due date for invoicing. and we are looking forward. Without wasting any time, also, I would like to call upon my brother. It's been hectic in this journey. I remember last session, I didn't have electricity, my whole city, trying to find network. I said, I can't do this, cutting. But with together with help with my team over there, it's been interesting. When I look back, I can cry, and I look back and laugh because it's been very interesting to work with you all. My brother Lan, Lena, can I give you a microphone as you coming and do the right thing? Thank you so much. Here's a mic.
Thanks, Ensikelelo. I love your energy, and I think the next year's upgrade to the Emergent Festival will be with your music, so we can all jam to to your beats. So yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so now we have the moment of sharing, right? Of the different groups sharing how their journey went. We have a couple of prompted questions that can guide you through the conversation. We have 7 groups and more or less an hour to share. And so everybody's going to have more or less 9 minutes to share. So the questions that we have for you to ponder upon in your answers and in this way of showcasing your projects are introduce each of the team players and what their roles were in the project. What main accomplishments did you accomplish in the process? What were the main challenges of the process? And then how can we see your final outcomes so we can all be aware of how can we get to experience the results of all this work? And we're going to go, last time we went kind of like in order of how it's listed in the co-budget, but now we're going to go the opposite way, because I know that also Alfred has a cutoff at the end of the meeting. So we're going to start with the translation of Rosemary Morrow's permaculture teacher training into Spanish.
Okay, great. Thank you, Alan. So this journey, it has been a journey of valleys and peaks, ups and downs, but fortunately, there's some really good news at the end. So after, we started, Mai and I were working together on this, and we started by making proposals to other people in CoLab, including here on the call, Alejandra and Laura, to create a team to revise an initial translation from English to Spanish of the permaculture teacher training manual. And so, I've been working on trying to get this translated since 2017, so that's 8 years. And the sticking point, the block so far has been, it's huge. It's a huge text that Rosemary Morrow has compiled over 40 years of her teaching experience. The English version, the third, I've worked on 3 editions of the manual, and the 3rd edition is 250 pages. And so we did compile a team of people who could revise the initial translation into Spanish, but revise it for, in particular, inclusive language. And Mai and I believe others from CoLab have worked on a document about inclusive language. And also to revise, a lot of the terms that translated from English to Spanish don't necessarily really resonate or work well in Spanish, especially in the permaculture community. So yes, it's 64,000 words, this manual. So we put together a team, but then here's where the challenges came. So for each of the 3 versions, or rather for the 2nd and 3rd edition of the English manual, because the 1st edition was published in 2015. So as you can see in the manual, there's the main text, but then there's different side boxes. And so then when we worked with the text to create a 2nd version and then a 3rd version in English, if we copied and pasted the text and then put it in either a collaborative doc or a text editor, but by copying and pasting out of the original design, everything got garbled. But we didn't know there was no other way to do it, because our designer is a permaculturalist. She did a PDC with me 13 years ago, but she's a professional designer that 10 years ago started working with Adobe InDesign. So proprietary software, not my choice, but that's what she used. So when we copied the text out of Adobe InDesign into another platform to edit the text, the whole design got lost. And then we had to redo it. Well, Alba, the designer, had to redo the whole thing again. And it was just a huge waste of time. So then the challenges this summer were a conversation between Diego, this translator, and Alba, the designer, about how could we do it differently this time? How could we avoid having to redesign the whole thing? And that's what took months. And we only finally just several days ago, finally found the solution, which is that there was a translation tool which maintained the InDesign format, but made a high quality initial translation. So the good news is that we had asked for funding for, and if someone can keep me on time or give me a heads up on time, how we're doing for 9 minutes, I'll keep my eyes on the chat. So we had asked for funding for working on the translation and revision of this text, but now with this breakthrough with this translation tool, we believe that in the next 2 weeks, we can finish not only the translation and revision, but we can have it in a high quality design that, boom, is ready to go with not much more work on the part of the designer. So that is the good news. But now, early next week, Mai and I will organize a meeting with the revision team, which again includes Laura and Alejandra and several other people, to see about what is needed to do to finish it. But the good news is, and again, the fact that it's in an Adobe product, a proprietary design product, it's definitely not my first choice, but it is the reality of the designer and what she's been using for over a decade. The good news is that then we can, in terms of inclusive language, we can do like whole text search of the 60,000 words of how, and replacing a lot of the non-inclusive language with inclusive language. But then the people doing the revision can actually then look more carefully at making it good in terms of the permaculture language aspect of it. So I know I'm coming towards the end. Any questions or comments or anything Mai would like to add?
No, I mean, like you said everything already, Alfred. I think if you want, I can share you the result we have right now. I can share my screen. Wait a second.
Is it going to be open to how are people going to be able to access the final result, or how is that going to work?
Can you see the screen I'm sharing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a result we have right now. It's a PDF that's already translated with AI. And the designer already changed a couple of words that we wanted to keep consistent with inclusive language. And now the team needs to revise. But, once we revise it, it's already ready for printing, if you want. Like the format, maybe I'm going to, let's go to a chapter. The format is here, So now we just need to revise all the text, but the book is complete. So this is great.
Yeah, and so it will be licensed through Creative Commons. It will be free to download for the 600 million people in the world that speak Spanish, and really just seeing this already in the design and already with an initial translation, compared to thinking about how it would be if we copied the text with all these different parts, and then it would appear in a collaborative text editor like this. It almost makes me want to cry with happiness just seeing that it's already in the design. So yeah, so this will be able to be shared and for free and available in the near future.
Maybe
Great.
some impressions from other team members. George, you were mentioning the team members and always skipping
Yeah,
George. But
yeah.
so
Jorge
Tom.
is on the team too. Sorry, Jorge.
It looks like he's frozen again, unfortunately. Oh dear. Okay, anyone else want to say something before we move on to the next team?
All right.
Yeah, I think this is such a great project, and I just want to like applaud the team for like persevering through the technical challenges. I think it would have been easy to give up on this, but yeah, it's really important work, and I think it's a really, really vital text that you're translating. I guess I see like Amy made a comment about a potential technology, and I wish that we'd heard about the challenges that you guys were having. So I'm wondering how we could have like crowdsource the solution, like maybe use the Emergent Festival channel or something like, and just like speak to the rest of us about what a potential option. But I think you've got it now. I think you've got a really good solution, and it makes a lot more sense than redesigning everything from scratch. So well done.
I think that was a question for the team, right, Vida, or no, or for everybody.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's not even a question because you're at the end now. You have it, right? It's like, how do we? It is for everyone. Like maybe it's even for the crew. How do we make it more open? How do we encourage this kind of sharing and yeah, more collaboration?
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind to me is potentially more meetups to see updates, but maybe that's just too much. But maybe there's like a little written update that happens, more often. Because yeah, we kind of like communicated, 3 months, and then 3 months, so maybe we can do more, maybe.
Something to chew on for the future.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this experience was a great way to learn and to like we found like a real good tool. So maybe we should share it somewhere that okay, this experience, this is very hard when you want to translate something and you want to keep the format, and like it's complicated. So this tool helps you with that, so everybody knows. And if we are translating something, or it's easy to work with when you have, especially when you have like a lot of words and a lot of pages and it's complicated. I think it would be great to share the what we learned with the project. Yeah.
I mean, I guess now that Canva is available, because Canva wasn't available 10, 12 years ago, I don't know about the politics of Canva. I don't know about open source or proprietary, but I know that in terms of collaboration, people are having such great results with Canva. So I would just, one piece of advice is start with Canva now if you're going to create a mega design project that you imagine will go over many editions in many years.
How are we doing with time, Alan?
Yeah, we're over time. So we can move on to the next one. So come PC Span with Camille,
Yeah,
Jorge,
that
Laura,
should be
and
me,
Alan.
So I'm calling from my mobile. I believe that you realize that I'm continuously being kicked out of the meeting, but yeah, I was trying to log in with my laptop, but I couldn't. Anyway, I'll try to do my best with what we have now here. So our team is Camille, Laura, and Aline was also giving us a hand because Aline was in this project since the beginning. but she's not today among us. But yeah, I'd like to refer to her also because she was an important part in the development of the whole project. So that was us and the roles we covered. So I've been this year and last year the reporting officer to Colab for this project, and Laura and Camille have developed all the graphic parts and the content along with me. And so what we accomplished in this third year of this project was to put out some permaculture infographics for several permaculture projects in the Spanish-speaking world, so internationally, not just in Spain, but also in Latin America. And I would like to share with you shortly the infographics, but I would talk before and then I will try to share my screen because I'm not sure if that works in my mobile, but I will try to do it anyway. So the main accomplishments were like these infographics. It's 63 projects altogether, where we developed for each project a main page with introduction of the project itself, their names and contacts, and the location in the world, and then also the petals of the permaculture flower that each project develops in their activities, and a short description of what they do as activities actually. And yes, the challenges we had were, of course, as often in this kind of projects, was the short timing to accomplish our goals. And we decided to work mainly synchronously in this project. So we cut out the time for meetings or co-working, synchronous co-working time, which was also a bit of a challenge because we tried our best to have an efficient communication, even if we weren't seeing each other at a lifetime. And how to see the final outcome. So I shared today in base row, I shared a link to our Nextcloud to our Nextcloud folder, where we put all the information about this project, including the infographics in a PDF format, which can be seen in one single file, which is what I'm going to try to show you in a moment, and also a zip file with all the infographics in a picture form, in a JPEG format, so separately, where you can see all the 63 pages separately. And yeah, I would leave some time to Camille and Laura if they want to add something or to share their thoughts, their feelings during this process, before I share with you the screen.
Sure, I'd love to add something. Also, just Jorge, since you're on the phone, I can share from my computer. Maybe that's easier if you want.
Yeah, that would be great if you can. Yeah.
Yeah. But besides that, I think one of the mission of this project was to showcase how diverse the projects are and how they are doing different things from the permaculture flower, right? Which is something that we really tried to showcase in the visual part, right? In the layout. And it's true that we tried to prioritize like being able to work asynchronously. It was a challenge though. Like I feel we would have benefited from, maybe having like 3 or 4 meetings in total just to like keep checking points and be able to have like a direction, because sometimes just communicating by, you know, Slack, it's like much harder to get aligned right away, and it takes time to answer, etc. But besides that, I think that the end result and what we were able to, well, we'll show you guys. We'll see what you think. But I think that overall, it's a nice layout, and it's inspiring to see all these different projects from all over the world. I mean, it's really great. Laura, do you want to say anything before I share the screen?
Yeah, I basically align with what you just said. That's why I chose the word discovery, because it was really nice to discover all these projects and learn about what little projects or families or big projects are doing, and how people approach permaculture in all these situations. And it's really nice to make it available for Spanish people, like Hispanic language, so that they can see what is possible and what's happening already in a more like conjunto, yeah, like together. So that was really good, and yeah, I really enjoyed working with all of you, and it was really cool to have a first test of what it's like to do projects in collab as well. So yeah, thank you so much. It was really nice. Thank you.
Thank you. If I may add really quickly, I just wanted to thank Camila and Laura, because it was really a great pleasure to collaborate in this project, and to also to discover, as you said, Laura, to discover your potential as designers, and to learn how to work together. I think it was a very, so for me it was a very it is a very grateful feeling to have worked with you and developed this these infographics together. Thank you.
All right, I'll start sharing. And can you see yourselves? Yes, okay. I cannot see you anymore. So this is what we came up as the front page for the, like each project has their front page, right? But with the logo, the link to social media or website, a brief description, the location, ubication, I don't know now, the location, which petals of the flower are like used in the project, or like what does the project do, with like the main points, right? And then we have pictures according to that, those different flowers. So this is from Casa Integral, Caño Extea. Jorge and Laura, if you want to comment also, just feel free. I'm just passing by the pictures.
It's good. It's good.
Okay. So yeah, each of them having different strengths and everything. And I think these will also be published, you know, on different social media. This is something that the collab can use to like really show these projects also, now that these infographics were made.
And I must add that so even if we worked beautifully as a team, I must acknowledge here that Camille had a really great input as into how to manage the graphic part and the layout, and also how to propose to the team solutions that would help us to work this graphic graphic in a very efficient and simple way. So Camille's input was really helpful to all of us as a team, I feel.
Thank you, Jorge. I think that my lack of like ability to do the Spanish, I was able to compensate with my knowledge of Canva a little bit, which was which made me feel a little bit better about being able to contribute fully to the project.
Thanks everyone for sharing. This is it looks amazing. I'm actually in the Aber project right now, so it was nice to see that in Costa Rica. Yeah, we're up on time, but if anybody has any insights to share that you wanna share to the team, please go for it. Maybe we can do a minute.
Amy was saying something about the license. I'm not sure if I understand what it means though.
So any community funded artifacts from the Next Steps project, including all Emergent Festival projects, have to have the CC by SA license, and you're using a different license. So you need to update that license before you release the artifact.
Is this the old license?
I'm not sure what.
I'm not sure.
You understand. So you're using a CC by non-commercial and share alike. You have to remove the non-commercial from your license.
Okay. We will substitute that. Okay. Remove the non-commercial. Okay.
Vida has linked you to the Creative Commons chooser, so you can generate it from there. And yeah, hopefully it's a search replace thing. It will take you a little bit time. Don't worry, you can resubmit the artifacts if you've already submitted them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful design. Well done. I was so pleased to see Camille and Laura get stuck into this one. I remember when you first joined the collab and you were looking for projects to participate in. So this has been really a quick jump into deep end. So well done, you guys.
All right, let's jump to the next one. Thanks again, team. The next one would be indigenous-led permaculture collaboration and knowledge sharing with Encikelelo and Vida.
Wow. Thank you so much. Amy, for a moment, I am thinking, in terms of performance, I feel like I'm performing after Michael Jackson and millions of people. So now it's me that I have to come after. So the previous team, you have done a wonderful work. And as I said, my name is Nzilo Kolosa. I'm from the indigenous permaculture with Vida, and just looking at the work that people are doing, like I'm asking myself, how is it gonna be? So without wasting any time, I just want to get into what am I doing and what is Vida doing. My work, I'm a reporting officer, and in this particular project, it is my first time that I'm a project manager. I've never. It's been a challenge. It's my first year, participating. And when you see those reminders, it's my first year, first time. So, but in this project, Vida also, she's a designer. She's also a researcher. And what I like about her is that she's a good person in terms of making sure that she challenges you. So I just want to speak on what we have accomplished as a team. We have managed to do a database of to create a database. I think Vida, when she'll just take you through what you have managed to do up this far. But we've compiled work, we've spoken to people, we've connected to people, and I just wish that when you have time, just hear what people are needing, because we've been in interviewing a lot of people who are doing this. They were indigenous led permaculturists. These people, they have one thing that they need. they need funding, they need support. And they are there, they exist, but now because of the government maybe oppresses, or the societies oppresses such people. But what I've learned here, it is that we are one, and the relationship or people have with the land. And as we are going through these interviews and talking to these people, then we realize that the collab is a good space for us, and for those people. And every time when we were talking about these things, we were also mentioning and reminding them about the benefits that you get within the collab. And they were also excited to hear about there's a circle that is called permaculture in Africa, and also offering them solutions to their problems. But one of the wishes that I had, it was maybe to grow in other spaces, and maybe perhaps get a different view of people who do not speak English, but maybe get a translation platform to cover maybe other people beyond what we have covered. But without wasting any time, I've had a great time, and I'm enjoying every process. It was challenging, but it was with it, and the equality of it, the importance of women in these projects, and how equality people are taking for serious. And people just need support. Ground People down there, they need love. Thank you so much. I think the main challenges we had, it was obviously technology. The other one, we have a participant that will tell you, no, I'm just have to go to the airport, drops in the middle of the interview, and you have booked yourself, and now you cannot cancel. There's a lot of things, but it's been smooth in terms of even getting teamwork from Vida advice and such. And how can you see the final outcome?
That's
Um,
spectacular.
I've been talking from when we started, that this is what I feel. Even last time I spoke, that this is what I feel. But now I think there is that time that when people have to get the time. There is We have Myra that we're working on, Mirabel that we're working on. We have documents that we are there. If you really want to get to hold of us and to see the work that we have done, please, you're welcome. You're welcome to request. I just want to give you to Mevida to come forward and maybe to say her two words. But truly speaking, Mevida has been a very, very good leader. I'm here because she invited me in a collab. I didn't take this opportunity for granted. Today, I'm the living testament that when you do things for real and when you're dedicated, you will grow. And I'm very grateful with the scholarship. I'm really grateful with the learning and everything that we are getting from this space. Mevida, can you please reflect on your side?
Cool. Yeah, thank you so much. So this is a really, really interesting project for me, and I think the group dynamics are really interesting. Because I have this thing ringing in my head around like the collab as a space to build capacity, and Emergent Festival especially. So I did Emergent Festival last year. It was a really cool experience, but I went into it with the intention this year of kind of like, how do you bring people in? How do you build engagement? How do you build collaborators? And so in Zikalala, I worked on a project last year, and this year he wanted to do something of his own, he wanted to lead. And so I think that was maybe one of the less tangible, not output, but outcome, was just seeing him step into that space, run the Kanban on the mirror, like, follow me up. I refused to follow up on any work. And so he was like really in that project manager role, which was great. I think it's a great way to practice non-hierarchy and collaboration. But I will share my screen. I know how to do this. So the point of this research really was, before I share my screen, maybe I just say that we set out to find projects. We knew they existed, but we tried to find projects led by Indigenous people that were in the realm of permaculture. We had some really, really interesting outcomes. We had quite a few interviews from Africa. We had Vikesh, who's obviously an active collab member. And we had a project from Mongolia, which was like amazing. Just because I had a friend who was traveling there and connected us with some people doing amazing Indigenous cultural work there. We also used the domains to try and get a good diversity of people working in different spaces, not just gardening and kind of agricultural grassroots projects. What we found though is we would have done a lot more interviews, but people were so challenged by access, by language, by just being able to connect, that we weren't able to interview as many people as we wanted. And then we went, okay, now we're producing this thing, we're calling this the Guide to Indigenous Permaculture, and it's not it. We need to actually be able to collect all of these projects because we're hearing about them. I mean, Cobra Mansa in the rainforests in Brazil is like doing permaculture in capoeira, and there's permaculture in Palestine happening, and there's all these like amazing little hubs, but we can't seem to, you know, my friends in Mexico were sending me projects, but we couldn't nail them all down, and we didn't have scope to interview everyone. So what we did, so we have this report, and I've all in base row, there's a folder with a bunch of our different reports. But what I will be sharing with you all, can you see my screen? Yeah, is this little database form. And this is just a space for us to grab projects from all over the world and ask them a few key questions that came from a collaborative design. And, you know, we wanted to capture a bit around the learning, we wanted to capture around land, but really the point is here, Ntsikelelo has also volunteered to be the starting point for people who want to join CoLab, so it can act as an outreach tool. I haven't had time to fill this in. There is a database, but if you know people with projects that fit this criteria, we're going to be adding the people that did the interviews. Please go and just share this around and keep spreading it out, because I think that, you know, when you do a Google search for Indigenous permaculture, there's so little, or if you dig deeper, it's like quite shallow. But even in the previous share from Compy's Span, like I think there's so many projects there that might fit in here. So I just really, this is what's next. Thanks, Alan. I want to finish there because I know we're a bit over time. Is any questions?
Thanks,
Is this
Ntsikelelo
gonna
and
be
Vida.
is this gonna be integrated in the permaculture in Africa work going forward? Because now we set up the database, but unless people share it and so on, then it's, you know, a dead form.
Yeah, we're not sure if it should be in permaculture in Africa. It feels like it should be, but at the same time, a lot of the reason for this form is the Latin American projects where we didn't have the language, and the Asian projects where it was quite difficult to connect. So there's some commitment from us to share this out. We think what it might end up as is we might go and make a website, a web page, and go, here's a bunch of really good projects, because the point is to somehow showcase these people, to somehow collect them in a group. But I don't know if it fits in the Africa region, but certainly Ntsikelelo and I are going to keep looking after it for a while.
Yes, Villa, yes.
They could potentially be, I know there's the map project happening. They could potentially be kind of like categorized under there.
Mm-hmm.
Great. All right. Well, thanks Ntsikelelo and Vida for sharing. And Ntsikelelo, you're up next again with Permaculture in Africa, resource curating and sharing. Amy and Ntsikelelo, Vida as well, and Josie. I don't know if Josie.
Oh, thank you, guys. Can I give a microphone to Mevida? Thank you to drive this seat. Thank you.
I'm just trying to open up something I can screen share. Yeah, so the permaculture in Africa, we had a great little run last year, and it was Amy, Josie, Ntsikelelo, and myself. I have to first and foremost just give kudos to Amy. You know, she volunteers for this project. She doesn't get paid from it, and she's amazing. She does so much work. She herds all the cats. She like makes sure that we do what we're supposed to do, and she's just really insightful about making sure that what we're presenting is authentic and true to the spirit of CoLab and to the norms of CoLab. You know, all the things that we have to be aware of. What we did last year is we incubated the Permaculture in Africa Circle, and that's just sort of started. And this year because that project also doesn't have funding, there was a recognition that if we don't have anything happening there, it could fizzle out. And so this is one of the ways that we kind of kept that circle going. And again, if I must say, like a non-tangible outcome has also been that there's been space for more discussion, there's been a space for regular meetings, there's been a space for addressing issues and kind of new projects that fit the circle. But that's sort of outside the hours of what we actually were doing, which is firstly creating a guide which to help people to onboard easier. And so I think that, you know, Jorge, you've said also like permaculture in Latin America, this guide is for people who have difficulty coming into the collab. We've really, really curated around African issues, around grassroots permaculturists. But I think that it does have applications for like the whole global south, and even for people who have maybe neurodivergence or maybe technical overwhelm. And it was created mostly by Ntsikelelo and Josie, who had been newer in the collab. And so they used their own experience to kind of formulate that guide. And then I don't have a link to the guide right now, but it is on the Nextcloud in the Permaculture in Africa folder. And the other thing that we did.
Thinking about. Okay.
Right, so this is our second output. And there were a few smaller outputs that happened, but these are the two main ones, the guide and this resource canvas. So this resource canvas has also been exported as a PDF. And so when we change platforms, this will we'll migrate this as well. But what this was is we went, what people get like information overwhelm, like what is helpful for African permaculturists, and sort of pointing them in the right direction. So we've got, you know, fundraising always comes up, and then very clearly where you can find things. And this is like a small little output that happened, which is just literally how to filter for Africa. And it's just done with screenshots instead of the videos. Someone with like less data could access it. A secondary problem with people looking for fundraising is a lot of them aren't actually ready for the grants. So we tried to find resources that help to explain that, and also things that helped, you know, free trainings on fundraising, free trainings on getting grant ready. So this is also something that's open to edit. It might be that there's lots of resources here that are helpful to you, and it might be that you know something that should be on this list. So, you know, there's like African funding, African job lists. This capacity building was quite fun because we were linking a bunch of collab resources. But if you've like made something, like today, Kate and I had a chat, and I realized that permaculture impact should be one of the most important trainings because it's such a big one, and very much catered for the African permaculturists. You know, come and add it in. This is just in Slack. You can find it in the Permaculture in Africa channel under resources. But it might be that there's also something that's interesting here to you. The other thing, and I'm sorry I'm talking a lot, I know Ntsikelelo and Amy, you can just butt in. But what I found really interesting is that there's almost no local networks. So again, we created a little database with the form, and we sent this out. But when I was searching for African permaculture networks and associations, there's almost nothing. And so you see what's great about these projects is you kind of reach these edges, you explore something, and then you go, oh wow, the collab could incubate associations. You know, the collab has all the resources to do that. And it sparks conversations. So now we're talking to the agroecology movements in South Africa and other places where permaculturists kind of try to fit in because there's nowhere for them. But yeah, that's what I have. I don't know if Amy, you want to speak a bit or share the. Yeah, Kate, absolutely. There's loads of invisible networks. So if you know of any, WhatsApp groups count. Go to that resource page, fill out the form, and let people know what WhatsApp group they should join. But yeah, that's as much as I've got. Do you want to share the guide, Amy?
I can't share it because it will stop the live streaming. But we'll share the PDF guide, and yes, credit to Ntsikelelo and Josie who worked on this. I would say even though I was volunteering and I did quite a fair share of hours, we still ran over budget by quite a bit. So a lot of, actually all the team members ended up volunteering an amount of time. So credit where credit is due. And I think this team was particularly successful because of the synchronous meetings. We had regular synchronous meetings in the calendar, and when meetings were being cancelled, this is when we fell behind. So it was really critical, the synchronous work. And another thing is we forked the objectives. So myself and Vida started working on the resources, like designing those, and then Vida did most of the filling that in. And then when the first objective fell behind, I stepped in to help them. So there was a flexibility in the team to try and bridge the gaps when they appeared. But yeah, lots of difficult the challenges were data connection in Africa, which was sometimes very difficult, storms, power cuts, and all that. We had to navigate those too, which I must say sometimes it's very frustrating. Like you're in the middle of a call and the flow, and then it's interrupted. But yeah, we have to do what we have to do. That's it from me. Anything to add, Ntsikelelo?
Shami, I'm just listening to good news. I'm actually thinking that what to say, but it's been a very interesting journey. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the first time that I get into this space and I drive the donkey, and with much work like this. But with the challenges of the network, the challenges sometimes you are off when people are working. You feel tired, but you come again the journey and join because of we're in a space of collaboration and we're working together. It's been a great day. Amy, thank you so much for driving. Volunteering this space, but you are amazing. And in Africa, I would just say, may good God of our ancestors continue to bless you, and your leadership is amazing. And with Vida, you're high. I don't know what to say, guys. I'm very excited to be working with such a powerful woman in my life, and looking forward for more challenges to come. Think I will just let people to comment for this 1 minute, Alan. Thank you. Anyone who wants to comment or say something, or you want to clap the hand, you can clap the hand. It's fine. Also, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alan, back to you.
Great, Ntsikelelo. Thanks so much. Yeah, I think having a guide for people, not just people in Africa, to be able to navigate the collab in a simple way, because not everybody is technically, and technology also is advancing so quick that having a simple guide for people to jump into this amazing ecosystem is great. So I appreciate the work. The next one is mapping permaculture business models, which Ntsikelelo is also part of, with Camille and Vida as well. So go for it.
Camille, do you want to start us off? You haven't spoken in a while.
Sure. This project was so good. I just have to start off by saying that we had a super good workflow, I would say. Vida has been like an amazing leader throughout this, and Ntsikelelo always comes with his good mood, and I just feel like the atmosphere we created within the project was just really, really good. That was really fun for me to be in such a collaborative space. That's really what it felt like. And I think that's an accomplishment in itself, saying we're in the collab, and that's how it felt being in that project. Then the project itself. So where to start? We wanted to basically figure out how we can have successful permaculture business models. And from there, that we could sort of get inspired and find archetypes in which people could get inspiration from to then build their own business model. If Vida or Ntsikelelo, you want to say anything, just interrupt me. So we had a whole design process for this, which was just first like figuring out, okay, what do we perceive as a business model? What is a business model? And then through all the questions that emerged, we were like, okay, then what kind of projects do we want to look for? So we had to figure out a scope, and we decided to base ourselves on the permaculture flowers. So the project didn't have to itself say, I'm doing permaculture, but it had to be aligned with the ethics of permaculture, and it had to be in relation with one of the petals of the flower. And then we went ahead and made an announcement that we were interviewing people for this project. And we interviewed, I don't know, 8 now in total, I think, projects. The interview, so that was another great thing, was that Vida at least taught me in Sikelelo, I don't want to speak for you, but like she guided us through like learning how to interview someone properly, and like how to pass through a consent process, which was also like very nice, because I feel like I've then developed an extra skill I can use now in different things. And so we interviewed different people who applied. And from that, we sort of like summarized all of that and did like a design activity around like, okay, what do we extract from this business model? What is the key features from this model, and how can we get inspired from that? And I guess we're gonna share something, Vida. I don't know if you're gonna share the screen. And we came up with archetypes. And I think it's better if we explain that once we share. I have to say, and I'm gonna say that before we share the archetypes, for me, so my motivation to do this project was I was in the process of creating my own permaculture business model, economy, life project. I don't know how to phrase it. And the process of this has given me like confidence in how I can adapt it, how I can reflect on it, to just feel more confident in building it. And that's been immense, really, for me. So I've been like really excited about this, and I'm hoping we continue this work. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. Vida, you go ahead.
Yeah, like I love all the projects, but there's something about this one that is just so special. And yeah, I mean, we're working like volunteer hours. I've stopped counting the volunteer hours on this because we were just so in love with it. But okay, we got a name drop here. Like we have some big names. We didn't just interview anybody. People had to apply. People had to get in. So we've got Alfred, we've got Amy, we've got Aline, we've got Morag Gamble. Morag gave the most amazing. Yeah, Alfred, you can go ahead. I'm going to also share my screen, and we can just see. It's going to be fun because some of you have been interviewed and you haven't seen your archetype, so I hope you don't. That's going to be fun as well. It's just a fun little way we thought we could teach this. Yeah, Alfred, you're welcome to go ahead.
Vida, before you start, I think Alfred wants to say something. No?
I was trying to click a heart and I accidentally clicked hands up. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought you wanted to say something about your participation here. Everyone's interviews are so amazing, though. We got so many insights. This is the project where the research guide, no, not the research guide, the case studies and everything is like 10,000 words. But yeah, I don't want to show you that because that's a lot of words. But I do want to show you guys this. So this is where it's the archetypes. And you know, we had so many amazing entrepreneurs. Everyone who was interviewed also is interested in becoming a mentor. So it kind of feels like this space of like permaculture enterprise with what Amy's doing, and like, are we going to have an incubator? Like, this is just a really exciting topic, and people were really interested. So we kind of did these like little cute archetypes that kind of brought how this person operates, you know, like how they actually think about their business. You know, like Lau was like, I'm an elephant or a hippo, and then we settled on rhino because his thing is like being the disruptor, you know. And you know, everyone has their own unique kind of learnings and lessons here. But it was a really interesting synthesis of like a way of doing research. So the research guide is something that's really interesting. And then this is something Camille asked me to do right in the beginning, and I ended up just finishing it. I don't even know if it's finishing it, but like finishing it today, which is to say, like, what is a business model? And I think that I couldn't do it at the beginning because initially we were going to show people what a business model is, like through the interview process, but then it ended up being that through doing the write-ups and everything, I kind of learned what I was trying to explain. And we used the eight forms of capital to like show these flows of value, but we're trying to show this like how a business that is permaculture is different. So like how it kind of like interacts with the ecosystems and how it relies on all these like non-financial forms of capital to operate. And it was just so interesting. I think I'm kind of, yeah, and Sikala, I don't know if you want to say something, but I'm really grateful for all of you who volunteered to be interviewed and who just like gave yourself. It was super, super cool.
Thank you so much. Because of time, I'm not gonna say a lot, but I'm just gonna say that Camilla, she's honest when she says Vida was pushing us. You know, Vida was telling us in a meeting that interview me now. It's like out of nowhere. So we have to push an interview so that she will tell us with honest that no, as an interview, I will see that week. Please try again. So practical examples, practical assignments that Peter gave to us. It was amazing, guys. When I look back, you know, I get excited. But it was an important work, you know, in the research of it as well. You know, one had to learn a lot about business itself. You know, and for that, Camille, what you are saying it also took me back to my roots, maybe to have, to go back to roots and say, you know what, I need to choose what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Because I saw when I was doing this, people who are getting successful is people who know what they are doing. Alan, I want to give anyone that wants to ask any question, then over to you. Or you want to clap hands, you can still clap hands, ladies and gentlemen, and throw those hugs, and we throw it back to Alan. Thank you to say the tag. Oh, amen.
My
Was that by mistake, Mai?
went up and went down, it seems like. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay, great. Wanted to clap. Cool. All right. Well, thanks. Yeah, it seems a really exciting project. Like Amy said, the graphics are amazing. I'm looking forward to diving deep into this one as well because it's a completely new space. It's been like being defined as you guys go, which is also interesting because sometimes we try to find frameworks for the businesses that we want to put together, and it's hard. But having this kind of like conglomeration of interviews is exciting. I would love to listen to the interviews as well, but I know that you guys kept them private, which is good as well. All right, the next one is the future of the collab events with Amy, Paul, and Alejandra.
Hello. I'm feeling a bit self-conscious because after this amazing project, and like, wow, no, wow, it's so amazing what you've been doing, Vida, leading these 3 projects. I understand there's a whole team, so lovely what you're all doing. Thank you for being so inspiring. I feel every time I come into this space, I learn so much. So unfortunately, as maybe you have seen on Slack, Paul has no electricity and is in the dark with a lot of children, so he cannot be here. I don't know if I will fear more the dark or the lots of children. Anyway, I'm not a parent, so yeah, I'm sure they bring a lot of joy. to me unknown. So it was my first Emergent Festival, so it was all a learning process. I had the privilege to be working with Amy and Paul, and Amy always in the background, supporting, teaching. Paul has been, I think, in general for all of us, a member of the collab, a really a great person that came into our lives, and and working with them in for these 4 events was pretty straightforward. I think we had a good flow. Also, the format was helpful in that, and I think the only challenge was obviously I think now is obvious, but you know, there's nothing obvious about how difficult can be participate actually. So in terms of accessibility and time and all the things that happen into our lives. So thank you for who have made it. Thank you for the great conversations we have. We have the Miro board, and that's the artwork that we have updated. I have updated the base row that will be shared on the website hopefully. And my role was as a reporter, and me and Paul hosted the events. But as I said, Amy is always leading and guiding. Amy is like a guide. Thank you so much. I had fun. I had a lot of also personal time to reflect on all the things that could be that are not, and so on. So that it was a very deep learning process for me personally, and I hope that the information that we have gathered will be helpful in shaping, and I trust is already shaping thanks to Paul being in this project in particular and being the head of fundraiser. I don't know who does all the fundraising and grant writing, and he's bringing in the monies. Yay! Thank you, Paul. And thank you, Amy, again. And yeah, any questions, feedback?
Maybe I can add a couple of things there as well. So
Amy, sorry, yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. So the future of collab were open space events where people could bring their own topic, especially around what the collab could look like and could be like. I would say the main challenges were trying to get people actually in the room. And here I want to mention we tried different time zones, different times and different days, and still every time people complain because it's too late, because it's too early. So we're not fielding time zone complaints anymore. It is when it is. We have tried to accommodate everyone. It's impossible. I would say it had mixed results. Some sessions were well attended, and other sessions were less well attended. And I would like to launch here an appeal where we're at it, because if we don't engage and we don't participate and we don't come to the events to actually shape the space will cease to exist. The collab is an amazing space, and here today I heard a lot of good feedback for it. But if you don't come and if you don't engage, nothing will happen. So I leave it there. The future of collab is hopefully as bright as we all make it with our light, that we bring the light in the room and our effort. Thank you, everybody.
We need to be all more like Amy. Thank you, Amy.
You're very welcome. I think that's the end of our round, right, Alan?
No, we have one more, which is a communicate your impact with Kate and my
Okay, we have to say goodbye to Alfred because he has to leave. Bye, Alfred.
Good night, Alfred.
Bye, Alfred. Bye, Alfred. Have a nice dinner.
Bye.
All right, so yeah, the last one, communicate your impact with Kate and Mai.
I think Mai is currently also having her dinner at the moment, so I don't know how much she will be able to say. She may have her mouth full. Can you hear me okay? Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank
We
you.
hear
All right.
you.
You're audible.
All right, before I go on for too long. Okay. So the project was communicate your impact, and the team was Mai and me. And what we did was work together to draw on our previous experience and previous thinking to create a series of 5 gamified action learning challenges to help projects and permaculture projects and permaculture practitioners to communicate their impact. And we created a Slack channel, which some of you are in and some of you might really like to join. It's not too late. It's called Communicate Your Impact. And that's where we dropped the challenges week by week over the last 5 weeks. You may have seen our posts in other channels letting you know when the next challenge was dropping. And the idea was that each challenge took up to an hour or so and with several slides that you could work through, and it provoked thinking, and there were 1 or 2 actions to do or tasks to do for within each challenge, and the challenges linked together to take you on a journey so that you were starting to think about what your project was doing and what its impacts might be, and then thinking about who you're communicating to, what messages you wanted to give, and finally giving those messages. The idea was to make it fun and light and in manageable chunks. And so we've created that. I can do a screen share of the channel in a minute. I'm sure you've already all jumped there immediately and you're just checking it out now and signing up. But in case you're not, I'll do a screen share. In fact, I'll do that now. And you see the right screen. Communicate your impact. Can you see that?
It looks like it may be loading still. It's black. Ah, there it is.
Okay, fine. So this is the place where we drop the challenges, and this is the first challenge here. All the graphics were done by Mai. It's really beautiful, isn't it? So it's just very. The idea is we know that everyone's busy. We know that everyone's got a million things to do, but also many of us realize that we need to be doing this kind of work. So how can we do it? How can we make it as easy and as bite-sized as possible? And so please, can you stop loving it? It's really distracting because it makes a weird sound for me every time. It's nice that you're loving it, but it's really off-putting as well when we're talking. Thank you for the love. And so we dropped the challenges, and then we invited people to share their action learning, the result that of whatever the little tasks were that we asked them to do. And we had some engagement. We also completed it ourselves for some of our own projects, partly to test it and partly to kind of model the process. And we had some engagement. We've got several other people in the channel who haven't done it yet, but we're thinking they might do at some point, because we realized also it's not the right time for everybody to do it right now, but it's there in the channel. And because we're moving away, the collab is moving away from Slack to a new platform, Mai and I are committed to moving the content across to the new platform so that this will be around and the resources will be around for people to pick up and do at any point in the future. So you can see there we've just dropped the various challenges, and we had some really good engagement and some good feedback as well from between participants. Mai, did you want to add anything at this stage?
I don't know. I think you told about, like, you said everything already. I'm tired. I can't think about anything else.
Am I still sharing my screen, or is that like I'm feeling like I'm tired too? I can't tell. No, I'm not. Okay. So I was just scrolling through some stuff for you, which you probably couldn't see, but I was talking as though you could. So I'm sorry about that if it didn't seem.
We did see it. We did
you did
see
see
it.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So what we're, in terms of next steps, what we're planning to do is also, as well as leaving us here in perpetuity, we want to build on this and create a bigger course, use this to really inform the course that will go into more depth, which we will publish on permaculture impact probably, but we just wanted to say that as well as the benefit that this particular resource might give, there may be further benefits as well.
Yeah, I only wanted to add that usually when we talk about impact or things like that, we use very big words and it can be very boring and people don't want to engage. And creating something like this was fun. You know, it was fun for like creating it and then participating in it and like, okay, I'm going to think, what would I do with my cooperative? Okay, I'm going to try it as well. And you know, it was funny and it didn't seem like work. So I think that was great.
Can I just share my screen again for the second challenge? I just want to show people the kinds of work that was done to answer the questions in the challenges. So we had some hand-drawn diagrams. We had a video. Can you see that on the side there, on the right-hand side?
No, you're not sharing right now.
You have
I'm not
to
sharing.
share
I'm sorry.
share again.
This is what happens when it's this time. Do you know what? Normally I'm in bed time. Okay, so honestly, that's really. I'm sorry. So can you see now? Okay, so on the right-hand side we have some hand-drawn diagrams. We have a video that Mai made about a project that she's working on. We have a bullet point list. We had some other handwritten notes and stuff like that. So it's not. There's different ways to engage as well, different mediums. That's all.
Well done.
Any questions, or does everyone just want to go home?
I think we're at time anyway. Like we're 2 minutes over time for the event. So maybe before we close, if you're watching this video and you're not a member of the collab, you can find the collab website on www.perma.earth. And I think I pass it on to our host to close the event so we can all go to bed.
Oh, thank you so much for Alan. Thank you so much for hosting the space, and thank you everyone for sharing. Indeed, it was a beautiful day, and we did enjoy. I don't know, wherever we at home you're watching this. Indeed, it is a great time for you to watch it. Please learn to the stories and to feel free to do research and join the collab. Everyone in the world, we are grateful to the space. This is our last festival. Before wasting time, I'll just to give few minutes to Amy, just to as we are about to go out, just to take us what's gonna happen and desires for next year, check out and all that. Thank you so much, Amy. Over to you.
So what will happen now? You will receive instructions on how to invoice for your project. That's like the technical part, so we can close it. The project pages will be updated with the information you have completed in the report. So that's public output. If you want to reference it on your own website or somewhere else, then you can do that. And I encourage you to do that. So we have more interlinked projects between the collab and other places. If you have any, if you're not, for those of you who are not finished, I think we have one project that has an extension. please know that you're reporting directly to me as the project manager, because the events festival coordinators finished their work today. Congratulations for finishing successfully your Emergent Festival coordination. And that's pretty much it from me. That's all the stuff. I know that Laura, George, and so on, you have to amend that little bit on the license, and you can do that and resubmit the artifact, but I'll follow up with you if I don't see anything. Other than this, I think that's all really. Thank you so much for participating. Hopefully we do get funding for the next 3 years, and we can have another 3 years of Emergent Festival. And we see new faces, new projects, and maybe new ideas. Looking forward to that. Right.
Thank you so much, Amy. We're still new faces, so we can still qualify for the 2 years coming. Everyone, thank you so much for spending time. And as you go out, please say something. Over to you, Alejandra. Just dropping the mic, then we are off.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Vida. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, thank you, everyone. And yeah, very cool. I've been on the channel. I wanted to say to Kate, I follow the channel, and the challenges were really interesting, and see the different engagement was really cool too. So that's me. Who likes to go next? Jorge, anything to say?
Jorge unfortunately is frozen again. Shall we pass it around quickly? Or shall we do checkout in the chat?
Yes, I think
be
that
fun?
will, because it's going to take time. Alan,
right.
anything that you want to say?
Yeah, no, thanks everyone. I think it was great to see everyone's projects, and yeah, as Amy said, the more we can share them, the more exposure we'll get. So that's great. Thanks
Thank you
everyone
all.
again.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for this year again.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks so much
Bye.
for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you so
So
much.
great to see everyone.
Good weekend, everyone.